Hey everybody, welcome back to the All Green channel. I'm Jimbo, glad you're here. Like and subscribe this video for me, I'd appreciate that. Today what we're doing is a quick intro, and we'll get right into a recording that the teams posted on Telegram of Josiah, who hosted a voice chat in the Telegram all about and explaining the GLE NFT trees. Try saying that 5 times fast. So the NFTs that they opened up for minting a week or two ago, and kind of explains the utility behind them, what you can do with them, why you want them. I own a couple of them myself, I'm proud to say, and I am trying to participate in the giveaway that they are hosting with these NFTs. So check it out. Follow along. I'm turning off the video at this point. It's just an audio clip. It takes about 33 minutes after this point. So anyways, glad you're here. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
if because essentially one NFT has the potential to win you lots of things over the years, not just one thing up front. And so, Mar, what you said about it's basically impossible for you to mint a right to collection, but it is possible for you to trade toward a collection. That's basically exactly the goal of the way this set up. It's set up to be a community game, not an individual thing to get people to mint more. Does that make sense, Mar?
Yes, yes. I did get that. After a day or two, I saw that it's more of the community like trading. I just did a trade myself. So
Oh, that
yeah,
makes me so happy to hear that.
yeah. I gave away one of my cores that got me a whiskey bottle, and they gave me the a core that got me the scooter. So
Dude, that is epic. That makes me so happy.
yeah, that was
So, do you
that
have
was
a
awesome.
complete collection for a scooter?
Yes, yes.
Whoa, that's faster than I expected. I thought that it would take like weeks and weeks for anybody to be able to get one of those bigger prizes.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I'd encourage
Well,
you. Obviously, you have to hold those until the snapshot date. So make sure.
Hey guys, Jimbo back here. Just I wanted to step in real quick and show what they're talking about, what they're referring to is these prizes that the NFTs are able to win. So here you can see it in the background here, Greeniacs. We have absolutely massive prize pool for the lucky people who mint the GLE Trees NFTs. What's on offer? A luxury weekend to Turkey to meet John and the team, including flights, hotel, and food. That's pretty awesome. 2 Clements brand watches, absolutely amazing Scottish watch brand who plants trees for every watch sold, which is really cool because it's kind of a compounding effect with trees being planted, right? And you've got the NFTs, which has the utility of the trees being planted for them, as well as this particular, or 2 of these prizes, 2 of these watches. 3 custom designed GLE e-scooters, awesome. 5 limited edition bottles of high-end whiskey, €100 value each with a special GLE label, pretty awesome. 10 subscription to Beer 52. I would take one of those, please, if anybody's feeling generous. 20 signed GLE tree prints, which is really cool too. So some amazing things here. There's a hashtag that they're using, hashtag GLE mint to win. So if you're doing any tweets or posts or anything, make sure you use that hashtag and show the world a little bit about these NFTs. And then real quick, again, before we get to the back to the audio, here's what John posted. This is all the information you need on what you need to win, the NFTs that you need to win inside of the game, inside of this mint to win game. And so for that holiday, you're going to need, let's as an example, 5 legendary NFTs, and one of them has to be this particular and specific NFT. And these NFTs are designated by these numbers. It's 3 digits, colon, and then 3 more digits. Okay, so if you have an NFT, go ahead and look at it and in the name, and you'll see this particular, or you'll see a number like this. Now you're going to need specific numbers and other NFTs of a specific kind. So legendary, epic, rare, or core. And again, for holiday, you're going to need 4 specific NFTs with these numbers and the rarity. And then you're also going to need other ones. So just to win the holiday to Turkey, you're going to need 5, 10, 15 NFTs. And so you can see what you need for the watch here as just one final example before we get back to it. You need this specific legendary NFT. You need 1 random epic, 2 rare, one of them being this number, and then the 5 core NFTs, one of them being this number. So hopefully that helps as you're listening in. I'm sure they're going to explain most of this here, but this will give you a visual. So anyways, back to it.
You don't trade any of those.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think I have another one in the community that has a few NFTs. I own like 26 of them.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
That's
but
very, very cool.
yeah, that was my only concern. Like for me, this is an extra just to have fun. But then I did see like, wow, 5 legends. Like that's you know.
Yeah.
But
And another thing that I should add to clarify is honestly, I'm not expecting all of these prizes to be won this round. I'm expecting, because all of them haven't even been minted yet. Someone was asking me, I don't know if sorry, Steve, you messaged me and I haven't responded to you yet. You were asking, have all of the essential ones for each prize been minted yet? I don't think they have, and I'm not expecting them all to be minted this time around. I want the great offers to be there, and obviously I had lots of conversation with John to say, like, if all of these are won this time, is GLE ready to pay for all these prizes? And they are. They're willing to cover all of them, which is amazing. Like, I think John and the whole team have such generosity with how they want to keep blessing the whole community and keep the whole community having fun. But so I'm entirely curious to see if 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 some of those bigger prizes are going to be won. I'm expecting probably like 30% of the prizes to be won this time around, especially as people are just getting familiar with the concept. And my hope is, as the thing goes on, some people won't care about collecting them and won't be interested. That's fine. Other people, and Mart, it sounds like you're a collector generally. I'm a collector. I love collecting things and building cool collections. And so I think for the people in the community who enjoy the game of collecting stuff, my hope is this will be a really fun game for years and years. And as we all get better at it and get more natural at it, more prizes will be won down the road. Does that make sense? Um, Someone else, I'm sorry, I can't see. Who was talking to me first was asking about gas fees or minting or trading or something on OpenSea. Who was asking about that? Hello? That's all right. Are there any other questions? Particularly, again, there's lots more that I can just talk about, and there's plenty that I can explain about how it's working, but I'd love to answer any questions or concerns. I've heard lots from people who the game isn't what they're expecting. I'm happy to hear more of that.
Can
I'm
you hear
happy to
me?
hear that too.
Yeah, now you can hear me. I wasn't
Yeah,
glad
hi.
Just the question is on OpenSea, if I want to sell or to trade or anyway that NFTs, there stands 2.5 gas fee I have to provide. Is this right? So, or is it only for is it for the
Yeah,
buyer?
sure. So my understanding of this, and I've done quite a lot of trading on OpenSea over the last year or so. My understanding is that the buyer pays the gas fee, um, and the gas fees change day in day out depending on how busy the network is and how much demand there is. So one day gas fees might be very high, the next day they might be very low. And so part of the game of trading NFTs is looking out for good moments to make your purchases. I part of the reason
So
that we chose. Go ahead.
So, do I have to have Matic wrapped ETH in my wallet to provide the sell?
You have to. I believe that you have to have that if you buy. I don't believe sellers have to have that in there to list them. I don't think,
Uh,
unless OpenSea have changed what they're doing. Why are you seeing that you have to have Matic in your wallet to sell?
yeah, that was a question.
That's so strange. I haven't
No, no,
had.
no, no, no. It's just a question. I don't know. I'm just asking you.
Okay,
I
I
have no
don't.
experience on this.
Okay, I see. I don't think that that's the case. Then I don't think that the
Okay.
seller has to have any gas in their wallet to sell with. I think the buyer covers all the gas. That's how I'm used to OpenSea working. We went with Matic as a as the currency for this.
Okay, guys, Jimbo back. Stop right there. So what they're talking about is OpenSea, which, in admittedly, everybody, I am not an expert on NFTs by any stretch of the imagination. The two NFT trees that I bought were my first ones ever. But I do know this. What they're referring to is a website and an application called OpenSea. This is on the Ethereum network, which means anything like the blockchain Matic that uses Ethereum that you can list on there. So all of our NFT trees are available to be put onto OpenSea. What that means, you connect your wallet, it reads the wallet and sees what kind of NFTs you have in that wallet and will display them here. You can see in my background, Josiah, who's speaking, owns this particular one. It's an epic. Here's the number I was referring to earlier. Really cool drawing, which, by the way, guys, I don't know if they'll mention it in this video or not. One of our team members, YouTuber, his name is Chris, Mobile Trades, his brother drew all these things. So really cool seeing that connection and team interaction. But really awesome stuff. Anyways, I love the artwork. They all do have sound behind each one, and I believe that's all custom. Everyone is customized and unique and different. So, anyways, just throwing that in there. What they're referring to here when Josiah is talking is OpenSea, and you can list these for sale. You can make an offer. They're talking about gas fees and how much it actually costs to use this application essentially. And it sounds like it's a little bit high. I mean, high in my opinion. But I have seen, and I can tell you, trading within the Telegram group, people will say, and I've seen this a couple times, hey, who has this number, or this rarity in number? I'm looking for that to complete my set to win this prize. I've seen people do that. I've heard of a couple people making trades amongst themselves outside of OpenSea. So then all you've got is a transaction fee just to send it to the other person's wallet. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. Don't think you need to use something like OpenSea. I just know that people are using it because not everybody knows everybody else in the community, and when there's 1,000 NFTs, that's a lot of them. I mean, some of our biggest holders probably own, at the max 30 to 40 different ones, NFTs. So it's a smaller percentage, and not everybody. It could be a large community when they sell out. So, anyways, just be aware that's what they're speaking of.
Because generally gas is so low. I I I don't have. I'm not an especially wealthy person, but at different times I've gotten to trade in some quite big deal NFTs that have been in quite lots of demand, and I've had to pay gas fees of like over $500 for an NFT, which is a lot. And putting it in Matic means that those types of prices should never happen in the gas. They should at most be a couple dollars worth of gas, even at the busiest times. And so the gas fees should be lower than they are anywhere else in the market because we're using the Polygon network, which has very low gas. And obviously, another huge part of that is when it's low gas, it also means it's low energy, which means that we're being as green as possible while we're trading these. because some people are concerned about how NFTs, how much energy they use and how they affect the environment. Of course, like everything GLE we want to do is all about like looking after the environment, and so we wanted to do something, use the lowest gas network possible, and at the moment that's Polygon with Matic.
Okay, so just I can swap it on OpenSea. I had a talk with Stargaze. He helped me a little bit out, and if I'm right, I can send Matic to OpenSea and swap it there to Matic wrapped ETH, right?
Yes, that should be the case. So if you have Matic in your wallet, the wallet that's connected to OpenSea, you should very easily be able to wrap it there and use it on OpenSea.
All right, thank you very much. That was my
Sure,
question.
no problem. Any other particular questions for people?
Hey, it's Steve. How you doing?
Hey, man.
If you can elaborate.
Yeah.
So after the snapshot is taken in September,
Yep.
do the prizes that have not been won remain the same for the next period, I guess, or whatever you want to call it? And
sure. Well, go on.
Yeah. So, just as an extreme example, let's say the holiday is not won by the snapshot. So what happens after the snapshot is taken? Does that prize remain there, and then a new combination of essentials and that would be generated, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think generally the plan is to offer new prizes and new combinations. However, and I obviously will be working this out with the team and with the community. It may be that if there's a special interest in a certain prize and we see that people really are aiming for it, it may be that we'll keep it available, or it may be that we change things. I mean, basically, the current plan is basically that at least once a year there'll be a round of games that is where where there's a whole prize list and a whole collection list like we've done here. That'll happen at least once a year. Generally, I think what we'll do with the next one is that we'll release the list quite early, but put a snapshot date way in the future. So for the next round, people have much longer to trade and collect for. This is obviously, there's a degree to which this is a tester round, because we want to listen to everybody. We know I think we'll keep the goal of treating it as a long-term community game, not a quick minting game. But I'm sure that we'll be tweaking the way that we do it, and so it may change. For now, the expectation is that beyond the snapshot date, the board will be entirely reset. So there'll be new prizes offered and new like collections for those prizes. And it'll probably be the case that some of the NFTs required for this round will definitely appear in future rounds. But I don't know. Like, we're looking to randomize it as much as possible. This time round, just knowing that lots of people have bought in, I intentionally, basically, I counted because I bought tokens because I love them, but I've counted mine out of it just to be as fair as possible. And then I intentionally drew a large percentage of the required tokens for this prize round from what I knew was already minted, just to not leave it. So again, I don't want to. The point of this is not to drive minting; it's to drive trading and community engagement. And so for this one, they were pretty heavily randomized, but from a small pool. In the future, it'll probably be like far more thoroughly randomized, which means some of the same ones will pop up, others won't. But in terms of what will happen to the prize list, essentially that will be decided by John and the team. And so it may well be that they decide, if there was lots of interest for a prize that didn't quite get achieved, that may hang around. I'm also going to talk to them about actually extending the deadline for a little bit, and maybe pushing it back into like early October rather than September, just again to give the community a little more time to get to grips with it, and for people to get talking to each other, and for moves to be made. Yeah, sorry, I started rambling there. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, it's also obviously it can go in several different directions with all the different aspects of it. So as of now, once the snapshot is taken, there's not a definitive time frame for when, say, the next round of prizes and combinations will be posted, right? There's no set time. It's like not going to happen immediately after the snapshot in September or early October if you change it.
Sure.
It could be it's undetermined. Is that correct?
At the moment, it's undetermined. One of the things as we go forward, I'll talk to the team about whether they want to release it immediately, in which case I'll start making preparations quite soon, or whether they want to give it a little bit of time. What is expected is that between now and the next major round, like at least end date, there will also probably be kind of surprise mini rounds. So we've been talking a little bit about it could be on Christmas Day. It's suddenly just announced anyone who is holding a token that has this image number, anyone holding it gets X, and you just have to log in and register yourself as one of those holders within X time frame. So that we'll probably also use this for lots of mini rounds and mini drops in between. But in terms of the big round, the plan is for it to be once a year, roughly around the same time every year. And I'll be talking to the team about how quickly they want to roll out that information, if they want to do it immediately or if they want to give it like a cooling off period.
So
do you have any thoughts about one way or the other about which you think would be better? I'd be curious to hear.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Steve.
Steve. Yeah.
I know. I mean, to be honest, I'm one of those people that I'm really not into this format. To be honest,
okay.
That's just me, and nothing against you or anyone else for all the work you put in.
No, it's fine.
But so I'm just going with the flow, So whatever it is, it is, and I've already, I have a couple of combos, that could work. I've been reaching out to a couple people and that, but it's really not what I'm interested in. But the game is, the rules are set, and I play by the rules. So we'll see what happens. Before I let you go, I don't want to take up everybody's time, but I did have one other question. I don't know if you have an answer for it or not. Regarding the beer subscriptions, I kind of looked up that it's a company in Scotland that's what they do. They do beer subscriptions. I thought I read that they don't deliver outside of the UK. I don't know if that's true or not, but what happens if somebody, say in the United States, wins one of those?
That's a really good question. I was under the impression they were actually one of the ones that I recommended, because I've used that company before and just found them really fun. You get like a unexpected combination of like odd beers from around the world every month, and it's kind of fun. So, and I thought that they delivered globally, but thanks for raising that. I'll check into that, and I'll see if there are some equivalents that do in the USA or globally, so that hopefully we have some backups there. Because that's really good. Thanks for raising that, because it'd be good to be able to deliver for as many people in as many places, with all these prizes, as many places as possible. So thanks for flagging that up. I'll bring that up with John and make sure that we have something that covers. There must be similar things in the USA and other places. I'm sure there are, and so we'll look into that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, man.
So isn't it a little bit rough? So for example, if you are catching these 5 legendaries, you got them, and for the holiday trip, and then you won't finish the collection, and then the snapshot comes, and after this the 4 legendaries are not worthless, but it's not, they count not anymore for the holiday prize. Or did I get you wrong?
No, you're right. So that is the intention at the moment, and I suppose it is rough in some ways. Again, I think the goal is to get these to be treated just very differently from how other NFTs are treated. Lots of NFTs that are successful are traded at extremely high prices. I kind of personally, I would love to see how low we can get the prices on these trading for, as people start to feel, okay, well, like this isn't about me getting my money's worth out of this today. This is about me participating in something that goes on for a long, long time. And so people knowing, okay, well, I can like sell it today, and like rounds later, I can go back for it. If it suddenly becomes part of something that is interesting to me. You know, another big facet of this, I'm very aware, there are loads of prizes here that no one is going to care about. Like lots of people don't want to go to Turkey. Lots of people don't care about beer. Lots of people aren't especially into like boutique watches, which is one of the biggest prizes. And so my expectation is like some people in each round will really fight for a prize, and other people will go, oh, there's nothing here that I want. I'll sell all mine back into the community or trade them back into the community really cheap. Now, like I said, we might look at extending the date to give more time for that process to happen. But yeah, the goal is, again, with the whole thing, the goal is basically momentum versus hodling. You know, we're all very used to, in the crypto world, everything is about like get it and hold it, and like don't let go, and hold on as long as you can to like drive value. And basically what we would love to see happen with the NFTs is the exact opposite, of people letting them go as quickly as possible and getting hold of them as quickly as possible. And so I would be thrilled to see a really low floor price on most of these, where people are very used to very quickly trading them in and out, like you would see cards pass around on a cards table. You know what I mean? Um, and again, I'm very aware. For some people, that's just not a type of gameplay that they're into, which is totally fine. My hope is that the primary purpose of them, which obviously one is planting trees, they're released to raise a small amount of money, and they're not going to raise huge money, but some funds for the running of the GLE project. And my hope is that those like primary utilities, as well as just what I think is, honestly, I think the artwork is outstanding. And my hope is that for the people who don't want to be into the quick moving of them, then hanging on to the ones that they particularly like for those primary utilities will be satisfactory. And so my expectation is we'll see a big range of some people who move them very, very quickly to try to get a prize by a deadline, and other people who let them go very, very quickly and easily, and then a few people who have a couple that they like that they just hang on to more or less permanently. And I hope we'll see the whole range with these. Basically, this is the whole gameplay was modeled after an approach to a set of NFTs that were released by Gary Vaynerchuk. Lots of people hate him, lots of people love him. I kind of don't care what people's opinion of him is. If you know who he is, Gary V, he's like a big internet personality. But he released a batch of like 55,000 NFTs that work on this exact system, basically. And I've seen it be tremendously successful. And part of the reason it was successful is because of all the people who weren't interested just sold their tokens back into the system very early, very cheap, which made gameplay move very quickly. And at sudden random moments, he announces, anybody who has this collection can have lunch with me in New York today, or whatever it is. And it just generates movement and community engagement where people are talking and people are trading. And yeah, that's and obviously lots of the things that he offers, nobody ever wins because it comes and it goes very quickly. And then other things he offers that thousands of people play for and trade for and collaborate on, and the whole range is there. And so it could prove very rough if people are treating these like other NFTs and trying to sell them for huge amounts. I know that somebody early on posted one on OpenSea for like 26 Ethereum. I think that was more like a fun thing than them actually expecting someone to pay them 26 ETH for one token. My hope is that people will not treat them like that. Again, that people won't treat them for quick ways to get large amounts of money. Because if they do, yeah, you're right. Someone might end up paying thousands of pounds for tokens that end up not being worth it at all, or thousands of dollars or whatever. If people treat them the way that I hope the game will generate, it should actually end up proving very easy for people who really want to build collections to win things very quickly, because there should be lots of movement. And it'll be a little bit of a test of us as a community if we can go that way and not the other. If everyone goes towards how much money can I get out of this quick, realistically, these games probably won't work, and that'll be okay. We'll learn the lesson. That'll be fine. I hope we'll be able to pull it in the other direction, where it's fun and quick and cheap and moves easily. But we'll have to wait and see. Were there any other standout questions? If not, I'll explain a few other things just about how this has come to be and what the process has been. But if anybody particularly wants something answered first, you're very welcome to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, is it Josiah? Joseph? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name.
That's totally fine. Nobody knows how to pronounce my name. It's fine. It's Josiah.
Josiah.
Josiah. Yeah.
It's me again, Mark. Two things really quick. First, I want to send you a message, private message. I have a question that has nothing to do with GLE, since you're really good at NFTs, and I don't want to get it in this, this MMA.
No problem. You're very welcome to get in touch, man. I'm not as good as some people are at NFTs, but I do really enjoy it, and I've learned through lots of mistakes.
Okay.
So you're very welcome to get in touch. I'd love to talk, man.
Now, second, because I'm at work and I have like 2 minutes left.
No problem.
On my lunch. Second, I've been hearing a conversation about high fees on trading NFTs.
Yeah.
Now, because I'm new to the NFT, this is like the first NFTs. I bought one and I didn't even know I had it like a long time ago. This is the first time I ever got into NFTs.
Cool.
The way I traded my NFT with this other person is through Trust Wallet. I basically sent him my NFT first. I trusted him or her. I don't know, but I sent it first, and then he sent me his NFT. So basically, you could get screwed over because you could send your NFT first, and they don't have to send you anything back. I don't know. Is that the way you trade NFTs, or in OpenSea there's a way to do it without you getting basically ripped off, but the fees are higher? Because the fees were really low when it was almost like sending Matic. It was like, I don't know, a penny, half a penny, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's very true. When you trade directly, especially with Matic and things on the Polygon chain, if you're trading directly, the fees will be incredibly low, which is very cool. You're right. The way that you did it, I love what you did, because again, that's trust in this community, which is fantastic. Right. That is risky, and we don't know everyone who's coming in, and so you're right. That could go wrong. I think there's a couple possibilities, and I'll try to explain quickly before you have to get back to work. One possibility is that we do things in the community where someone who is trusted in the community acts as a go-between. So both people send their token to that person, and that person, once they have both, sends them on to the right people. That's a way of doing it that would have at least a third party involved. And if that's a well-known trusted person in the community, that could be an option. OpenSea is set up I don't think there's a way of doing direct trading on there, but generally the way OpenSea is set up is for buying and selling. And so it's quite easy to agree with someone, I'll buy this from you and you buy this from me. And ultimately then everyone ends up with their money back in their pocket. But at least with that, that if somebody doesn't fulfill their side, you at least got their money. Now OpenSea does have some fees, and some of those fees go to OpenSea, and some of those fees will go back to the GLE team, which you might decide not to do. It's not a huge fee, but I think it's about 10%. And but so basically, the benefit if you decide to do it on OpenSea is that money is going back to the project, and I know that the team are not using that money to buy Lamborghinis for themselves. They're using it for the benefit of the project. So that's the upside of doing it on OpenSea, is it's very secure, and fees that come out actually go back into the ecosystem of the coin that you're holding. So you're benefiting your own project essentially. And so there are upsides to doing it both ways. You could do direct trades, you could do it through a mediator, or you can buy and sell on OpenSea. And there are good reasons to do each one. And I think people should make their decisions about which suits them best. I hope that answered your question.
Oh yes, yes. Well, thank you, and I'll send you a message. It's just a question about something
No
else. I don't
problem,
want
man.
to get involved here in this. All right,
No
thank
worries.
you, man.
I'll look out
Thank you,
for it.
guys.
Appreciate you, Mar.
Thank you. Bye bye.
I'll talk a little bit more for a second, and anyone is welcome to jump in if you have a question. But I'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with those fees, just because I think it's important, and I know that John and the team are really keen for everything to be transparent. Um, so here's what happens with the fees if you buy and sell on OpenSea. First of all, it's important to explain. Yeah, I'm not a team member. I am one of the larger holders of GLE and have been since day one. And I already feel like I did the early staking, which had amazing rewards. So I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of it, and now I'm just excited to hold with everybody else. So I'm not a team member. I was paid some to do these because this was 3 weeks of nonstop work for me, and John very kindly offered to pay me for it. The team hasn't paid me loads, much below what a standard fee would be for the work, because I didn't want to take money out of the team's account. But I was paid a little bit because so basically um, another guy did all the visual artwork. He was paid, again, a very small amount for the amazing work that he did. He was paid a very small amount up front. I was paid the same amount that he was paid to do all the music that goes on with them. So along with the artwork, there's 100 unique pieces of artwork and 100 unique pieces of audio. Each is a minute long, and they're all original, recorded by me here in my little home studio. And I really like what I created there. And then I also uh, have hosted them on my website, and that's the only money that was paid out for this. And it was a relatively small amount, but it made us able to really knuckle down and do the work, which took a long time. No worries, man. And then so that was that. There was a little bit upfront paid for that, a very low amount. And then with the ongoing fees, so if you buy or sell on OpenSea, a very small percentage, I think it's 2%, goes to OpenSea that they take for any trade. And then I think there's another 8% that goes back to GLE. And the way that 8% is divided up basically is a third goes to the visual artist, which he gets a royalty for his work, which I think is legit, because I can't believe what amazing work he's done. A third goes to me, and a third goes to GLE. Now, my portion, basically, most of what that's going to be used for, I'm not expecting it to be lots of money, but it hopefully will be little bits. And basically, what it will be used for is paying for the hosting of these. There's basically 1,000 minutes of video that my website is hosting to deliver this to the GLE community that I hope to host indefinitely, and that costs quite a lot to the data hosting for that. And so any little fees that trickle back to me from people trading these will basically go to maintaining the web hosting, so that these are readily accessible. If we ever have to change that and host them somewhere else, we'll let everybody know. We'll make sure that they are always hosted in nobody's artwork will be at risk, but in terms of hosting them so that people can trade them quickly and everything, that actually costs a little bit. So that's where the fees go. When you trade, a little bit goes to the visual artist, a little bit goes to me for the audio and for hosting, and then the rest goes to GLE, into the GLE team wallet. And that's how all the money has moved around. And I believe I've covered everything to do with that, because we want to be totally transparent so people know what's going on with this. Obviously, we haven't even minted enough to cover yet the cost of all the prizes. If all the prizes are won out of the pool that's already been minted, then we won't have even covered those costs. This is not a money grab. This is very much a labor of love to do something that the community can enjoy together. I hope that all makes sense. Does anybody have any questions about any of that, or comments, or about anything else? Who's in here?
All right.
Great, great.
So, are any additional questions, guys? shoot it out. Okay, so if not, I want to stop. Or do you have something additional to say, Josiah?
Only that I'll try to be around in the next couple of days in the chat to keep answering stuff. Generally, I'm not in the chat very much. I have a pretty busy, hectic life, and I don't manage to be on Telegram much. But I will try to be around a little bit more, just so I can respond to stuff. So if anybody does have questions that come to mind, please don't feel afraid to either message me privately or to put them in the chat, and I'll respond. And as we go along at all, like I said, there's a lot that we're still learning about how to make this the best that it can be for the long run for this community. I would ask people to remember to think of this as a long-term thing, not a short-term thing, and that will help answer most like concerns that people have. Is if they just think this is for years, not for weeks. That will help with most questions. Other than that, I think that's everything that I have to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. Are you okay with it if we can share on Twitter stuff, on Instagram, TikTok, my mom?
Yeah, certainly.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate.
No worries. It's great to talk to you all.
All right, thanks. I will close the chat. So
no worries.
Have a good night, guys.
Take care, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.